Just gonna do a quick demo of some things I've been working on. One of them is CRaC, Coordinator Restore Checkpoint. This became available with Spring Boot 3.2, and since Grails 7 is running off of Spring Boot 3.4, we can now take advantage of CRaC, Coordinator Restore Checkpoint. So as you can see, I've got nothing running here. And let's go ahead and restore the checkpoint. Boom, 19 milliseconds, up and running. So let's go back over here, refresh the browser, and here you go. Here's Grails running in 19 milliseconds. Basically, the way it works is I just created a starter app. This is again running Grails 7 milestone 1. And as you can see, the plugins I have the Grails CRaC plugin and a couple other plugins that I'm working on, one being Spring Security Lite. So let's demonstrate some of that stuff, but just a quick overview again how I got this up and running. Basically, it's just the basic starter app, and then I go and add the plugin. Start up the app. You can take a checkpoint at any point using the CRaC controller, and then you can restore at that point. This just makes startup so much easier. Other than that, that's basically all there is to it. One of the other great things about Grails 7 now is you can utilize a lot of things with a lot less dependencies. One of them being, for instance, Spring Security. You don't even need a security plugin. I'll demonstrate some of what's involved with that. So all you need to do is just pure Java config, Spring Security. The Lite plugin that I have, all that's doing is allowing me to use the security annotation. But if you just want to use basic Spring Security, or you can even use the pre-authorized annotation, you can do that just again by doing the same thing here. All you just need is a Java config. So here's just my Java config. It's 53 lines of code. The only line of code in here that is related to this core Lite plugin is just this one line here. And all that does is it allows me to take advantage of the secured annotation, which basically all it does, it's for scenarios where you want to override security with a lesser security. So if you want to lock down everything and then override that overall lockdown at a method level, that's the only scenario where you would use this plugin, because you could always use the pre-authorized annotation that's offered natively with Spring Security 6.2, but that just allows you to lock down further. So for instance, if you would need, like you had permit all on a controller, then you could lock it down further, as opposed to with the plugin that I have here. This allows me to lock down everything and then open it up at a method level. But this is just a general overview of how you would get up and running with Spring Security, and it's just a breeze now with Grails 7. So let me just do a quick demo on that. So here's my security config. Like I said, 53 lines of code. And then what do you need for security? Well, you need a user. So I've got a user class, I got a role class, user role class. My user class, if I just implement user details, so that's a Spring Security class, it just makes things so easy. All I need at that point then is a username, a password, and then just these 4 fields to implement user details. This class here, 41 lines of code. And then once you have your user class that implements user details, all you need is a user service. So, of course, I also have just a role class, and then a mapping of user roles. This is pretty much just the same as the Spring Security Core plugin. This is 81 lines of code and 19 lines of code. So at that point, we move on to user service. User service takes advantage of one of the new powerful features we offer now, the scaffold annotation. The scaffold annotation, you just tell it which domain object you want to scaffold, and it'll scaffold your entire service. So to implement my Spring Security User Details Manager, I just implement these two interfaces, and then I could take advantage of all the scaffold methods that are created by this annotation to implement the methods. So as you can see, 51 lines of code here, and that's right there. That's a complete implementation of Spring Security. That's all you need. You don't even need a login page. That login page will show up automatically with Spring's default login page. So, but if you want to get fancy, and let's just say you want to now create a user admin interface to your user controller, well, then you can go ahead and create a user controller, and taking advantage of some of the refined namespace scaffolding that came available in also in the latest Grails. And look, here you go, one line of code, and I'm implementing a RESTful service controller that gives me all my methods on my user. I've got no views in here. Here's my views down here. This is all scaffolded, and it's all scaffolded with Bootstrap 5. But let's take a look. So I do have my login page. So here's my login page. It's like 89 lines of code. But again, you don't even need that. If I didn't have the login page, it would just use Spring Security's built-in login page. So let's go take a look how it works in action. So let's just say I try to, so here's controllers as well. You know, I'm using controllers. This is all, this was powered up in the CRaC start. This is Hibernate, and you can see all that's working. Again, this is Grails 7. Just 5 controllers here, 4 domain objects, 5 services, got some tag libraries. Here's all my actuators that fired up. Here's all the plugins I'm running. The only ones that I added are the CRaC plugin and the Spring Security Core Lite. Filters. This is the filter chain. I could take a look at filter registrations. Here's the all the filters and the order in which they came up. And you can see the Spring Security filter chain. One of the other things I got added, which was also nice, and this isn't offered by the Spring Security Core plugin, but it's if you use native Spring Security. Native Spring Security comes with CSRF protection automatically, and every G form tag you have will automatically go in and send the CSRF needed, the token needed in order for that to function. So you're out of the gate without having to add any code in order to get up and running with CSRF protection. This is just a test that I did that displays the image formats I have available using image.io. Here's the application listeners I've been running. But again, this is just your basic demo app. Here's all my value converters. Just some simple HTML I added here to see what's running in the background. So go ahead and we'll come over here. So we'll close that up, and I'll go ahead and I will try to access like the admin sample. So I have a sample controller, and then I have an admin sample controller. Difference is that if I go and try to edit, I get denied because I don't have access. I'm not logged in. Another thing is if I go and try to go here, and let's just say I try to delete. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, not allowed. Okay, so I need to be logged in. All right, so let's just go to the admin sample controller, and the difference again between the sample controller and the admin sample controller is just the namespace. I also actually added file uploading, but this is all implemented with Scaffold as well, and it's using the same name with the namespace, and I just added the secured annotation that says I need to have admin role to access it. Here we had permit all, and this method requires a little bit more security. but just some tests that I did to test the various functionality that got added in. So again, going back to my admin sample controller, as you can see, the difference between my sample controller and my admin sample controller and my normal sample controller is all the CRUD operations. Those are all done for me. This one's just also annotated with read only. So going back over here, we'll go back again. I'll go to the admin sample controller. I'll log in as admin. And here you go. Now I can go here and go delete. That got deleted. As you can see, it's no longer there. I can edit and do various things. A little bit more work needs to be done to get the rendering of local date times. So one of the other things I got added to Grails 7 was native support for local date time. There's currently a bug that's filed with IntelliJ, but as you can see, I have no import for the local date time. So for the Java time package, all this local date time and all the other classes in that package you can now use natively. So it makes it a breeze to migrate now to the new way of doing things, and instead of using the long deprecated Java date class. So getting back to here, going back here, and let's take a look at my user controller, and look, boom, here you go. I've got a fully baked scaffold user controller for managing my users. And we could hide the password and just by using some of the basic constraints on the domain object, and I could change how I want this displayed. But that's just basic Rails functionality. Last thing I guess would be the internationalization. That's really the only thing that the core Lite adds, is that, like, for instance, if I log out and my login form it changes language, so I can go ahead and have whatever language I want to show up and be up and running with internationalization. Anyhow, I just wanted to give a quick overview of what I've been working on, but the main thing I wanted to show was CRaC, which is Coordinate Restore at Checkpoint. And as you can see, this works with Grails, so it's a great way to get those long starting Grails applications up and running in a very short amount of time. Enjoy.